Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I am playing the Tier 9 U.S. Heavy Battleship Minnesota. The Minnesota is, thus far I like it. I actually liked the precursor to this as well, once I got the hang of it. Minnesota has big guns. It's got 406s and it's got 12 of them. Now it's not the gigantic 457s that you pick up with the Vermont, but this does give you a taste of what I expect you'll be able to do with Vermont. And although initially this line of ships I didn't like at all. I really didn't at all. They've really started to grow on me. I mean, the long reload, yes, it's kind of a pain. It means you have to really pick your targets and make every shot count because you don't get as many. Every 3 volleys that you make, battleships that have a 30-second reload, well, they're making 4 volleys. So really important that your shots do significant damage and or finish off enemy ships, at least in my opinion. It's an epicenter game, which means ideally we'll have destroyers that'll move center and contest the caps. Sometimes, and I'm sure you've seen it too, sometimes your team all sits outside and the enemy team doesn't, and the enemy team ends up winning on points. So that's always a big hope. Now on this map, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to position so that I can cover essentially most of the epicenter area of the game area. And what I want to do is I want to provide as much cover as I can against torpedo strikes. On the enemy team, you can see you've got Småland, which has pretty long-range torps. Kagero, which has fairly long-range torps. I'm just trying to put myself in a position where I can get my guns on things in multiple directions and hopefully avoid eating any torpedoes, ideally, but a minimum of torpedoes. That's the goal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push forward here, and then I'm going to turn around and angle my nose kind of northward a little bit so that I can cover this channel that you see directly ahead of me now, and also kind of more center of the map and even the other side of the map. You'll see here in a minute once I get the ship turned. And this ship is, well, this entire line, very slow. They're not what I would call fast ships. Reasonably maneuverable, given the kind of the way that this tonnage is is laid out, but very slow. So I don't want to put myself in a situation where if I need to disengage, it's impossible. It's already going to be challenging, even at this location. But you can see that anything comes from roughly where those planes are out on the water. Anything that were to throw torpedoes from there, I've got a couple ships between me and them, and here I've got islands that I can use as cover. So, hoping I'll do a little damage here. It's not very much. It's a start. Right now I've got my eye on Cleveland. He's kind of sailing broadside, and a broadside cruiser with these guns is always very, very attractive. Maybe Hipper? He's showing pretty much flat broadside by the time the shells get there, so I'm throwing the shells out that way. Cleveland having moved behind an island. Now I know he's going to probably keep turning out, so I aimed accordingly. And I do clip him for significant damage. There's roughly half his hit points. And he's going to try and return the favor. Now that La Fantasque is, well, he's probably going to die. I don't see any way he survives this. Just a question of whether he's going to take a Ragnavoy with him. Our Holland takes out the enemy Vermont. Hadakazi takes out La Fantasque. I'm going to get another shot on Hipper here. What's he going to do? Is he going to turn? Well, I'm very happy that our Republic took out the Hipper, but I did waste a shot. Our Cheshire goes down to the Donskoy, and you can see the Donskoy is now pushing out there. Now that's a definite threat. The HE spam that a Donskoy can put out is significant. And if I sit here, it's just a question of time until he starts punishing me. So I'm going to start moving forward. Our Harakaze goes down to the Cleveland. And just like that, we were down 2 ships. Now we still have an advantage, both in terms of points and ships, but that's not going to be long-lived because the bad guys have secured 2 cap circles, and although we are contesting those right now, they are pushing. No shot on the Cleveland, just taking my time, making sure the shot I make counts as much as possible. You can see Torps coming directly ahead of me. Thank you, Jutland. Didn't quite have the range they needed to get to me. Now Kurfürst is angled up against me. I initially did not want to put the shells there, but everybody else is making it as challenging as possible to do any damage, so I'm going to go ahead and put the shells there. That's decent damage, I'll take it. Now I'm going to angle against a return shot, and probably there'll be some shells from Minnesota behind the GK, so I want to stay angled a little bit here. Don't want to show too much broadside. Those 406s do hurt. Oh, look at that. I think I'll use the spotter plane and try and do some damage on the Lexington. Boy, if we dev strike the Lexi, that would sure be a big help. And we do have a 1-ship advantage at this point. It's a long shot, but if nothing else, I'll do significant damage and cause them to not get close again. No Citadel, but quite a bit of damage. I'm sure that will convince him that getting close may not have been a good idea. Now, I certainly haven't been lighting it up or anything, but these guns they're a real threat. Nobody wants to get too close. I could put shells on Cleveland, but the range he's at, chances are very good that he would just maneuver and I wouldn't land anything. Kurfürst, though, yeah, you can see I robbed the Lexi of about half of its hit points. There's another 8,900 on the GK, more or less. Now I debated here about going nose in, but I really feel like I kind of have to. I can't just cede all the caps to these guys. Arzal catches the enemy Kagero with the torpedo, puts him out of the game. We're now down 3 ships. Bad guys are down 5. We still have a 150-point lead. Our Ognavoy is probably not long for this world. He has to just get detected once and somebody will finish him off.
Returning to ship.
So I've spun back around and brought my nose north so that if I need to, I can try and outrun torpedoes. 1 ricochet. That's disappointing. Our Alaska goes down to that Donskoy. That Donskoy on the flank like that is such a threat. So now we're down 4 ships. 65-point lead. And I'm hoping I'm going to get a shot on the Smollett here. These shells are very big. It's a good thing I turned around with Jutland sitting right there. He's backed into the Jutland smoke. So I just got out of range of the Jutland torpedoes, and I managed to finish off the Smollett. So our Ognavoy He's a one-shot kill. Minnesota finishes off our Balti. We've got 7 ships. Bad guys have got 6 ships. The bad guys have all the caps. Now, we're in the caps right now, contesting them. But our lead, you can see, has dwindled to 10 points. That Minnesota-Donskoy combination is no joke. And although the Ognivoy's out here, really the only effective thing he has at this point is his torpedoes. If he gets radared, he's going to get sunk. I'm really hoping that I've aimed properly on the Donskoy here. And down goes our Ognivoy. So now it's me against, well, you can see on the minimap, Cleveland's pushing this way, Minnesota's there, Donskoy's there. Our Ognivoy gives the Minnesota a little torpedo present. And here comes the HE spam that I was talking about from Donskoy. Kurfürst is just about dead. Maybe our Republic can finish him off. Donskoy is trying to stay angled up. And I'm looking for a good shot. I don't have to worry about the Jetland, he's too far away. I don't know how much better of a shot I'm going to get. So I'm going to take that one. And I've thrown it in reverse. And that definitely hurt the Donskoy. I'm really hoping somebody's going to finish him off. I had 2 fires going, so I put him out. Got a heal coming up in 8 seconds. So if they get me burning again, I can counteract it with that at least a little. And our Republic does finish off the Donskoy. So now it's a question of, can I get rid of this other HE spammer?
Problem solved, sir.
I have to turn the tail end out just a little bit to be able to get all the guns on Cleveland. But I think that's probably going to be it for Cleveland, and it's just the Minnesota this side. And now I've got help. Yeah, down goes Cleveland. I've got a Holland pushing in here. Why this Holland pushes straight in like this is beyond me. But he did. And these Minnesota guns are, well, Holland's got less than 5,000 HP. And he's in secondary range now. So I'm at 28,000 something, and this other Minnesota's at 26,000. But he's almost certainly going to need a torpedo or 3 here. Down he goes. So that was just, I'm going to get some torpedo hits in before the game's over. Now this is looking a lot better for me. The AA working. I've got defensive fire. I've been kind of hanging on to. Doing okay without it. But the next strike I'm going to need to use it. We've still got 5 ships. Bad guys are down to 3. We've got a significant points lead, and now we are beginning to contest the cap. So it's pretty cool graphic there with the guy coming down in the parachute. I'm getting pretty banged up, but I think I'm going to finish this Minnesota right here. And there's a Confederate, and that's always a nice thing. Now, why did I play this ship this game? Well, I needed a heroic achievement for to basically help complete a set of missions that are going to give me a crate that'll give me a tier 7 premium. If you've been following the King of the Sea tournament at all, you know what I'm talking about. And that was next to the last one that I needed. So the mission that I picked up the day that I'm making this video will be the last one that I need, and then I'll finish that one and get the tier 7 premium, which is kind of cool. And all of that for watching the King of the Sea tournament, which is, if you've never seen it, it's fun. I mean, if you love this game, it's a very cool thing to watch. Now this is over at this point. Managed 3 kills, 66 shells on target, 1 citadel, 9 secondary hits, 14 aircraft shot down and counting. Helped with the cap, held the flank. Feel like I did my job here and really enjoyed the game. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.